Friends, hello, how are you doing? Let's talk about two stocks in particular and what's going on. So obviously it's Saturday, things are choppy out there. The air out there, the word, the sound, what's going on there that you're seeing, I think a lot more with big retail investors and these analysts, these investors that we look at, whether they be on TV, wherever. A lot of it is kind of optimistic that this is gonna just be okay. That somewhere soon we could see a turnaround in all this, because we're essentially just in this game of chess right now, and we're waiting to see what is happening here, play by play. And this is gonna bleed well into this week in the market. So I mean, the biggest thing right now, I think people are just like, hey, I don't need the market to sell off anymore. I'm fine with these prices. But I'm sure there's plenty of people going like, we're here. Let's keep going. Let's just keep bleeding here, and I'll keep making some new positions here. So let's go right into that. There's two stocks, that one in particular that I talk about a lot. If you know me, there's a stock that I talk about quite a bit. And job reports came out Friday, and they were a lot better than everyone expected. So that could help the market here, stabilize out a little better here, what's coming. But there's one stock in particular, talking about Sofi, talking about Robinhood. I think these are definitely two big companies that are going into a new generation of investors, people banking, all that kind of stuff. And to me, one of them, it's weird because they're both ahead in different places. And let's go right into Robinhood here. So, you've got Robinhood, who obviously has started off as an investment app. I mean, we were downloading Robinhood almost 10 years ago. I started on Robinhood. When Robinhood came out, people started to find out about it. It was huge. It still is. It's still huge. But with that too, Robinhood, their last quarterly was they hit over $1 billion in quarterly. I mean, it went like we knew this was a strong company, but it is blown up completely. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, there's more people investing now than there ever has been. So with that, this new news with Robinhood is essentially, pretty much becoming a fundamentally well-known into the future here, a bank. Robinhood's going to continue to make some killer quarterlies here into, we're talking long-term here. We're talking about this is something you're buying and you're holding for you into the future, part of your portfolio here. Now, Robinhood obviously here has been cut in half price-wise. This was almost a $70 stock here just a moment ago. But with this huge crash here, now it has been cut in half. So to me, if there was ever a time where you wanted to be a part of Robinhood, getting a Robinhood, dude, this is it right here. This is the moment. This is your moment right here, because listen, somewhere in this, like I've said, the bottom has been found or will be found very soon with this market. Okay, Robinhood is going into this, pushing this scenario, this area of, hey, we're a bank now. We this is where we're going into. And Robinhood's always been, it's had that, you've had an account with them, you could have cards, all that kind of stuff, but now it is like full-fledged, like, okay, we're not just an investment firm, we are becoming this too now. So Kathy Woods has been speaking on Robinhood for a while now, where she is really betting heavily, ARK Investment, they are betting on Robinhood very, very big here into the future, and it's paid off for them obviously here. So, you have Robinhood here, who's doing amazing, making amazing money. I mean, just hit this $1 billion quarterly, just killing it, and very popular, and it's not going anywhere. And then you have something like Sofi. Sofi is struggling to stay at $10. But Sofi has not recorded a $1 billion quarterly yet, but when they have their next quarterlies here in May, this could be the one where they hit $1 billion. Now, Sofi is essentially the bread and butter of it. The skeleton of it is a bank. It started off essentially as a loan platform, but it is massively, twisted its way into a bank now and becoming a very big bank, and really, grabbing the new generation, older, middle, everything with that. So SoFi, and not to mention these loan programs that it's huge deals that it's acquired here just the last 6 months. So you have SoFi, who's already made this strong platform, this strong foundation as a bank, really done well with that, credit cards, loan system, all that kind of stuff, really built that foundation up. And with SoFi too, when you download their app, you become an account member, you can buy stocks through their account. It's pretty simple. But I will say, as a fan of SoFi, it is not like Robinhood 100%. If you download the Robinhood app, Robinhood is so clear cut. It's a trading platform, okay? That when you download Robinhood, the app, the trading platform. So you have Robinhood, who's pushed this narrative first, made a great platform for investors, new investors, middle, whatever you want to do. Obviously, and there's going to be arguments on that. I don't care. That's not what we're talking about. But then you have SoFi, who allows you to invest too, but they've already been a bank. They've already been pushing into this narrative. And SoFi could be going, this could be the biggest, best year for SoFi. More than likely it will be. But you have these two stocks, these two companies. One has already hit $1 billion, Robinhood. SoFi looks like it's projected to. And SoFi, I will say, has had a lot more sturdy quarterlies than even Robinhood. SoFi has been like boom, 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 boom here for the past 2 years, just like executing quarterly. So this is where the big argument comes with SoFi and Robinhood. And I say that because I see it online. I get comments about it where people are like, why would you invest in SoFi when you can invest in Robinhood? I get it all. Listen, I get it all. But, it depends what you're going in. I honestly think people should look at both of them. There's nothing wrong with being, you shouldn't look at these as like one's going to be better than the other. They're just ahead in different areas. That's where you're looking at. Robinhood, its bread and butter of where it makes its money essentially has been their trading platform. SoFi has essentially where their earnings come from is essentially them as a bank, loans, credit cards, all that kind of stuff. So, and they're still pushing into that heavily. They're still growing massively. So I think the future for Robinhood obviously is very bright. It's not like we're saying it's not. This isn't a video talking bad about either company. I think they're both fundamentally, they're going to be huge companies like 5-10 years from now, even more than what they are now. Robinhood just now reported $1 billion quarterlies. Isn't that crazy? It seems like they should have done that a lot longer ago. SoFi hasn't even done it yet, but this could be the one where they report the $1 billion quarterly. A lot of people think so. They may report the big B here. So you have both these companies that very different price. SoFi under $10 right now. It's been beaten down from all this stuff. You have Robinhood, who has been beaten down, cut in half here, but still got a little bit of a price tag on it. $30 and some change here. $35. But fundamentally, if you're long-term investing with these companies, these are things that you definitely will look at. Listen, when I'm looking at, like, if I say, like, I want to invest in a bank, I'm going to make an investment in some sort of bank. Of course, you can look at you can look at Bank of America, you can look at Wells Fargo, you can look at JP Morgan's, you can look at Chase, you can look at all these stuff. For me, and if you're like in your 20s, 30s, even 40s, even 50s maybe, you're probably wanting something more bang for your buck, okay? And if I was going to tell anybody, if you're wanting to be a part of a young bank, a young growth company that is going to do very well in the next 10 to 15 years and can really change your portfolio, your life here fundamentally into the future, you're just wanting to buy something, gradually grow it, just let it sit there and just keep ripening on the tree. I would definitely look at Robinhood and I would definitely look at SoFi. These are two stocks, two companies that are growing really big in two areas. And now, Robinhood, there is argument to say that Robinhood could be, a very fierce competitor to SoFi one day, because, Robinhood, they've done so well with their trading platform, and now they're pushing into this bank system, and we're going to see what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like. But SoFi, undoubtedly, it offers that too, but it's just not on the scale as what Robinhood has done. So, I look at Robinhood and I go, like, they have that edge too, but at the same time too, there can be an argument where you look at SoFi and you go, like, well, SoFi loans, credit cards, they're a real bank already. They're already so advanced where they are with their system, their technology, all that. So there's give and take on both sides, but at the end of it, I think everyone would come to an agreement that these fundamentally are two huge opportunities for people into the future. And listen, friends, at the end of the day, with what's going on with this market, you can't look at this and just stay in a fear-based mode. You have to look at this and go, like, I've got to go forward. And you have to look 2 to 3 years into the future, even a year or two from now. Okay, maybe even 6 months, where there's going to be a moment where you're going to go, looking back, and you're going to look at this moment, you're going to go, thank God I just bought. Thank God I just started buying this stuff. Even ETFs. There's ETFs that I've been, like, shoving money into, just like trying to build bigger positions in some ETFs I have. There is an argument here that, people should be looking at some banks too. But if I was going to be a long-term investor in some of these banks, they don't give you dividends. They don't do anything like that as of right now. But if you're going to hold something and you're going to get in deep in something for the long run and get in early, I would look at Robinhood. I would look at SoFi. These are probably situations that are going to turn out a lot better here into the future, 100%. So, that's my argument on that. I'm not looking at a candlestick chart. People get mad when I don't talk about candlestick chart. I'm talking about the fundamentals of the company and where they can be. I'm not talking about day trading, short trading these. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised. People that are buying SoFi even at under $10 right now. They've got quarterlies here at the end of the month. This time next month, they're going to be reporting their quarterlies. If they report $1 billion quarterly SoFi, that stock is going to go freaking ballistic, 100%. Because, look at Robinhood. Robinhood, before they reported that $1 billion quarterly, it was still a very decent price stock, but it really pushed them into, like, big numbers. So I think this is a moment for both these stocks that you need to look at and go, like, I feel good about doing this. This fundamentally is going to help me into the future if I get in now with these stocks, 100%. And obviously they're on different price ranges. Anyone can buy SoFi right now. It's less than $10. Robinhood, a little more expensive, but you're gonna make your money back on these, 100%. You're gonna make your money back on these. There's no way that SoFi is gonna stay under $10 when it's about to report probably the biggest quarterly it's ever reported. In Robinhood, we're gonna see what it can keep doing here. I'm very curious, but undoubtedly, Robinhood is going to keep doing well. We know that, okay? Even if they come short of $1 billion this next quarterly, they still made almost $1 billion. That's wild. And they're not even fundamentally in that banking system of like 100% where they want to be right now. So, friends, I wish all of you luck. Stay positive, stay encouraged that we will come out of this. And there's going to be a moment in time where people are going to look back on this moment, this time, and go, thank God I just bought. Thank God I just bought good stocks that I knew were going to do well into the future. Thank God. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye, everyone.